What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Burnout Brighter podcast. This is episode 42.
43.
43. What the fuck did we just talk about? 42.
42 is what 42. We decided on.
We threw out so many numbers. I'm Matt. I'm your host. I'm joined, as always, by Darren.
Hello.
We'd like to begin by apologizing for a little bit of how confusing the podcast and the Let's Play series has been in the last couple weeks. I went ahead and got appendicitis.
Goddamn appendix.
So I wound up at the hospital for a couple days. I'm completely fine, recovering. All is fine. But because it happened to be on podcast launch day, things went a little haywire. Yeah. And things did not go as they should have.
But it sounds good because I hear the doctors sucked it out through a straw.
Yeah, they fucking jammed it right up my nose. Took the long way around.
Just sucked that appendix right out.
Came out one ear, came back in the other. Took a nice round way down. Plot twist, the surgeon was actually that grandma that keeps attacking Destiny.
And she did it as a ploy to do some pain on you. She's done a number to me, and she's done a number to D, but she hasn't touched you.
She hasn't gotten me yet, and now she's actually dangling my removed appendix in front of Destiny as Destiny's trying to get it back from me.
Holding her hostage. Actually, we probably should go deal with that immediately after this podcast.
Well, she's trying to get my appendix back. Right. So D's being a hero as always.
Good.
We'll have her back very soon.
Yeah.
If you're new to the podcast, we're a podcast all about video games, mental health, and a bunch of other shit. Basically anything that we think is entertaining, important, or things that we want to talk about. You can catch us on any of the major podcast networks, on Spotify, on Apple, on Google, on Darren's watch, which he bought at the convenience store. Not really the convenience store.
The dollar store. Pretty close.
Pretty close. But it's also available there if you want to go looking for Darren's watch. This week, there's going to be a very, very news-heavy episode. We're going to be talking about different things coming to PC. We're going to be talking about whatever the fuck Kingdom Hearts is doing. We're going to talk about the Guerrilla Collective, and we're going to wrap up with a big old discussion on PS5.
It's basically our not E3 episode.
Exactly. It's no 3-3.
E0.
E0. I like that. Well, you know what? That's a good name. Welcome to E0.
Welcome to E0.
It's like the cyberpunk version of E3.
Nice.
Right. But we're going to start off as we always do.
It's been a while since we've done this.
It's been a minute. We're going to start, as we always do, with a random question.
And I forgot again.
Yeah.
I'm freaking... Every time.
So, my question to you, Darren, is... If you had to make...
I can start with you if you want.
Sure.
I came up with a question.
Okay.
In that time frame of you stalling for time.
Well, no, that was me preparing my question.
Of course. And I'm going to preface this by saying you're not allowed to pick Dr. Mario or any video game character who is a doctor.
Okay.
But if you had to pick a video game character to remove your appendix, what video game character would you trust?
What video game character would I trust?
Who's not a doctor.
Who's not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
You're not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
And the video game character is a doctor.
Is not a doctor.
Is not a doctor.
No. I know this could be confusing.
Right. There's so many doctors in the room.
Yeah. You know what they say, too many doctors in the surgery spoils the surgery.
But you keep them away with one apple.
Yeah. And
just one apple.
If you put an apple in the surgery room, maybe that cancels out and balances out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a video game character to perform surgery on me to remove my appendix, I would pick...
Who's got the biggest straw?
And that's a good question. That is a question for the ages.
Would it be Lickitung? Just attach itself to your belly button and just suck?
I feel like that would end up with a lot more infection than good. I'd pick Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh god, here we go. Why this time?
Because knowing his ass, he would find some Disney-ass character to help him along. They'd probably magic school bus this bitch and shrink the gummy ship, and like enter into me to destroy the appendix in the best way possible that wouldn't injure me from the inside. Hey, wait, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is a Disney movie.
Technically speaking, I guess
so
you're right.
I'm guessing Sora would link up with that guy. They'd shrink the gummy ship down, enter me, remove my appendix in the best way possible because it's Sora. He can't do anything wrong.
That's true.
And then
he did remove a parasite from a whale.
I'm saying so.
He's navigated the insides of a living organism.
Right. That happened in Kingdom Hearts Death Stranding. But yeah,
Kingdom Hearts Triple D, Deep Death Stranding, Deep Death Dive, Stranding, DDS, DDDS.
I think Darren just broke. So I picked Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Which definitely, that question was good, Darren.
I can't believe that I'm kind of agreeing with you when we worked it out. I'm like, well, he's been in a whale's body.
Right, exactly.
And he could do some magic,
yeah, and he'd probably heal my appendix through the power of friendship.
And I know Disney's not Looney Tunes, but like cartoony ways of doing surgery.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Exactly. So I think, and like if the guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was smart enough to make a shrink ray, I'm sure
sort of smart enough to do appendicitis surgery
to take out a useless organ, in the best way possible. So that Darren, that was a good question.
Thank you.
If I have to say, that definitely gave me enough time to think of one for you. So Darren,
yeah,
if you had to live Death Stranding,
okay.
Now, Death Stranding is on my mind.
Yeah.
If you had to live Death Stranding, right?
Yeah.
You were Norman Reedus.
Okay.
Norman Reginus.
No.
No good Regina.
Nordus Regis.
Nordus Regis. If you had to be him and walk across the country to build back the chain of Taco Bells or whatever the fuck he was doing in that game, what shoes would you wear? Who would be your shoe sponsor?
Ooh. Who makes Sonic the Hedgehog's shoes?
Okay, let's just change it. What video game character shoes would you want? Let's do that.
Well now, okay.
And keep in mind, you can't wash them on this journey easily.
I can't.
You can't.
I had to think for a second why you thought that was relevant, and then I remembered my question from a long time ago where I asked about washing shoes.
Like 40 episodes ago.
I'm trying to think of who has rocket shoes. Because
and I'm going to add an asterisk. You cannot remove a part of like a suit.
Oh, so you're like, can't be Iron Man.
You can't take like Iron Man's shoes and repurpose them into just shoes.
Well, I figure I should not pick Sonic the Hedgehog because I don't think it's his shoes that give him his speed.
It's not.
I'm gonna go with. Wait, how far am I walking?
You're doing Death Stranding. You're stranding death.
Okay.
He walked to and from.
And he does a lot of climbing.
And he goes up to some mountains.
And I'm guessing if my shoes wear out, I can just replace them with the same set of shoes or whatever. They never break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a deep cut on this one.
Okay.
Paige from Beyond Good and Evil 1. He's your companion. He's your adoptive uncle. He's the pig. And he has these jet boots.
Shit.
That actually let him... They don't let him fly, but they let him make quite large leaps. And one of my favorite voice lines burned into my memory forever is, "Jet boots attack." And I would wear those boots partly just to do a jet boots attack on some monsters, and then also just because like I don't have to walk everywhere, I just do some leaps.
I'd be very if this ever comes to pass, I really hope I'm there to witness some of it, because you loaded up with all that cargo leaping into the air would be a sight to behold.
I forgot about that part. Damn it. Oh well, that's fine. I made my choice.
Right, you made your bed and now you're gonna lie in it. Darren, let's very, very quickly talk about like what's new. What have you been up to? Is there anything that you've been playing? Anything that you want to bring up?
Something that I've been playing that you suggested I play and you have been unable to play. And I don't know if they got back to you.
Right.
But I've been playing Final Fantasy 14.
Yes.
Of all games, I never thought that I would want to play an MMO. I don't think I talked about this on the podcast before, despite me playing this like a while ago.
No, you haven't.
I think just based on the stuff that we've covered, we haven't had the opportunity. I never thought I'd play an MMO. I don't like the idea of an MMO. I don't like the idea of having to, pay a subscription to constantly play a game that I've purchased. But you have been talking to me and Alistair being like, guys, guys, let's play Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Let's play Final Fantasy 14.
Right.
I've heard it's so good. I've heard the story's amazing. And I've heard the story's amazing too. Mm-hmm. I've heard it's like one of the best Final Fantasy stories since like the PS1 era Final Fantasies.
Right.
And so there's a free trial that me and Alistair played, and you've been unable to play because of technical difficulties.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I think it's due to the fact that my PlayStation Store account is Canadian, and I've logged into a previous free trial from Canada, and now for whatever, even though that was like 4 years ago and I deleted all my data, I can't play it. Regardless, I have not been able to access that same free trial.
Yeah, but I've been liking it more than I thought I would. Mm-hmm. And
what about it is grabbing you?
I love the world. I love the size of it. I actually do enjoy the combat for the most part. Mm-hmm. It feels very deep. Like, I can tell that there's a lot of depth there, that I'm just scraping the surface. Mm-hmm. And I like how right now the story's kind of like, I don't really care that much. But one thing that's cool is depending on the class you choose, you actually start in an entirely different part of the world. And me and Alistair have played to level 20 now.
Nice.
And I still have not left my starting city.
So there's a lot there to do.
There's a lot. And I can tell that there's depth to it. And the combat system, I can tell I'm just scraping the surface of stuff. It's like, it's going to be deeper. There's going to be more. I promised Alistair I would not say this. But I have to say this because this is the best comparison I have.
Okay.
The combat system is a lot like Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, God, I'm never playing that game.
It is pretty much the same combat system.
Right.
And what are you going to say?
I have an easier time swallowing that pill with MMOs than with a single-player JRPG. And I don't know why.
Maybe because, like, with MMOs, that's the standard. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles took that system from MMOs.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll be willing to give it more of a chance. Although, I'm not going to lie. If you do end up liking it, I will be sad that you didn't finish Xenoblade Chronicles. At least the first one.
Right. Oh, well, live and learn.
But what's interesting about it is it's very mobile. Mm-hmm. Like if an enemy's going to do an AoE attack or a cone attack or a line attack, it actually draws the path on the ground so you know where it is to avoid it.
So you can dodge.
You can actually... You can't dodge. You walk out of the way of the attack.
Right, but you can...
You can do that in Xenoblade 2. You just can't see where the cone is, or you can't see where the attack is going.
I see.
It's hidden.
So it's more accessible, you would say.
It's more accessible, yes.
An MMO is more accessible than a single-player JRPG, Darren.
I know, that actually makes sense to me, though, because people have to put more time into it. And they want the focus, because in Final Fantasy 14, the focus is on you playing one character.
Right.
And you're going to play different classes, but it's always just you, and everyone else is... They're real people.
You're counting on other people around you.
So the strategy comes from your own experience, whereas Xenoblade's party composition-based system too.
Right.
Where you're trying to think about other team comps and playing different characters.
And also whether your attacks will coincide together and shit. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, so it's less about... Xenoblade's less about movement and more about preparedness of the strategy, like... from minute to minute.
Right.
Whereas, like, it does seem... You probably would actually like Final Fantasy better 14. Because it is more mobile, because they're drawing the paths. It makes you want to be mobile. And I've seen some bosses late game, you're fucking, like, running all over the place all the time. So, like, yeah, I'm intrigued to the point where, like, when my trial expires, if you get this working, I will pay for another month to play it.
Yeah.
So that's my actual opinion.
Yeah, I will try again. I haven't heard from support. I emailed them again. But granted, I also haven't been that into my email the last week, pretty much. Yeah. Maybe they did respond and I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
But I will try and get it resolved because I really am curious to try it.
I'm just sad that I like it this much because I don't want to have to pay a subscription, but I feel like I might end up doing it.
Well, the good thing is that we did get the game for free.
Yeah, the base game.
We
have to, if you want to get into the extra content.
Expansions
we'll have to buy Shadowbringers.
Yeah, expansions is a whole other deal, but yeah.
That's nice. What's up with you?
I finished Personified Royal, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, because I know we're going to have a spoiler cast when I finish it.
Exactly. All I'm going to say is I loved it, and I loved what they've added, and that is literally all I'm going to say about it. And then Darren, I did something.
What did you do?
I bought an Xbox.
Holy
I bought an
crap.
Xbox. I bought my first Xbox.
Not only did you buy any Xbox.
I bought the Xbox One X Scorpio Edition.
That's insane.
Yeah, I found a great deal online, and for me, Game Pass has been tantalizing long enough that I was like, there's enough there that I know I want to play. From stuff like Sunset Overdrive to Dishonored 2 being on Game Pass to Streets of Rage, which we tried on Game Pass PC.
Yeah.
My computer had some issues running it, which is fine. That's on my computer. That's not on the game. And so I was like, fuck it. I found a good deal, and I pulled the trigger. And the first thing I'm going to say about it is that motherfucker is heavy.
Yeah, I tried to lift it, and it was a chonky boy.
It's dense. It's not... I don't think it's bigger in terms of, like, its, like, actual specifications than a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
It is definitely heavier.
Dense like a star.
It's dense like a star. Like a star boy.
Like a star boy.
But I'm really enjoying it so far.
What do you think of Game Pass?
I love it. It's easy. It works. Excuse me.
It just works.
It just works.
To quote Todd Howard.
Yeah, like, it really does, though. Like, you click on one and you download it. The download speeds are much faster. Like, I've had no issues. Like PlayStation can have some hiccups when it comes to their downloads about how long it can take. Xbox is quick. It's easy. Senna and I have been playing more Streets of Rage. We got to what I think is the last boss. It continues to be great, and it's the first time probably since like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back on the Game Boy that like a brawler like this has clicked for me. But like I actually now understand what I'm doing. Like every time I've played one of these before, I've played it for a little bit and like
it's like mash buttons.
Yeah,
and stuff.
like I actually understand it. I jumped into Sunset Overdrive. I am enjoying it. It is not an easy start. I think that the movement's great, and it's obviously like early Spider-Man days. Like you can feel they took a lot of these systems into Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Humor's fun. Like it's very Insomniac. Liking it so far. Like I'm liking it the more that I play it. It's just that you kind of do have to give it a chance.
Yeah.
And then I also started my friend Pedro.
How do you like that?
Great. It's a lot of fun. I like these types of games.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time with like what was it? Katana Zero. Was that the name?
Yeah, that's the one where it's like you die in one hit, but you're like going through really quickly.
And like stuff like Hotline Miami, like this, you obviously have much more health, but it's a lot of fun. The slowdown stuff is fun. The parkour stuff is great, but and now I'm just patiently awaiting The Last of Us 2. How
do you think of the like user interface of the Xbox and stuff? Are you getting used to it because you played? I know you had a 360, but you didn't really spend a lot of time on it.
The 360 was. And like we have an Xbox One at home too, but those both were my brothers. Like that was my younger brothers. That like I played Halo, I played Gears, but like I didn't spend much time in the ecosystem. I find the Xbox One X interface confusing.
Yeah. It was weird how long it took both of us to figure out how to access the settings.
Yeah, and like such a simple thing. Like I do think that like it's fine. And like I'm sure it's just as I get more used to it, I'm gonna have less and less issues with it. But I do kind of think it's a little bit uglier, and I do think that it's a little bit harder to navigate. I do think it gives you more to work with in terms of like just even bringing up the home menu. There's a lot more there that you can do than like you could on the PlayStation, but I don't think it's intuitive.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, like I'm liking it so far. And I've been playing another game a little bit, but we'll talk about that when we get to news.
Okay, before we get to stuff really quick, I want to give a really quick shout out to my dad.
Yes.
Who I've convinced to play Persona 5 Royal.
Mr. Boulay, you're my fucking hero. I'm so happy if you're listening to this. Don't give up on the game. Keep going to work.
Yeah.
Keep hanging out with people.
I what's interesting to me,
pick your waifu.
Pick your waifu. Just do like me, date every girl, and then feel really uncomfortable with the entire situation.
Sure, but that was your second playthrough.
That was my second playthrough. Don't do that the first time. Don't get mad.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting hearing his experience is like unlike you and me who have some kind of frame of reference for Japanese culture and stuff like that, and you're into anime, I've seen some anime.
Yeah, you've seen anime.
But I know enough about the fandom and stuff to like I get it. My dad was like looking up definitions of like what all these different like prefixes and suffixes on like what's it called? Things that be like, Darren-san, Darren-chan, Darren-senpai, like what does all this mean? And my dad has
like the honorifics.
The honorifics, that's the word. And he has no frame of reference for anything anime. And he's very, very excited and willing to learn. And I'm happy he's enjoying it. Because I wasn't 100... Like, I know the combat system is something he'd probably like, but I wasn't sure if he'd be into the story, but I think he's, like, interested.
It kills me that you said, like, all he's pretty much done is go to work to buy shit.
Yeah.
Which, like, I completely understand. It's your first time through. Like, it's a lot of shit that you could be doing.
Yeah, you don't have to go to your job that much. If you're going to your job constantly because you're running out of money, you may stop buying things.
Yeah.
And one last thing I was going to say... I think he's gonna outlast me in playtime, and I'm kind of scared to tell him how long I've been playing the game because I don't want to scare him away.
Right, so we're not going to bring it up right now.
We're not going to bring it up.
If he listens to this, I don't want him to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but
but I can't believe you finished it in 5 hours.
But if you're liking it, like, keep playing it, because it just gets better.
It just gets better.
It gets a little worse, and then it gets much better again.
Yeah, it plateaus. I wouldn't say it gets worse. It plateaus, and then it gets very good again.
Yeah.
So like I said, this week is going to be a very news-heavy episode. We're going to go straight into news because our main topic for the day is going to be...
News.
The first thing that we're going to bring up is Humble, and I'm pulling all of these from IGN. I'll quote their authors before we go in. So this comes from Matt Kim. Humble launches bundle for racial justice. Humble Bundle has launched the Fight for Racial Justice bundle, which includes over $1,200 worth of games and books for $30. 100% of the proceeds will go towards various charities and organizations that support racial justice. In the wake of the killing of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and tragically many more in the black community, we've teamed up with developers, publishers, and creators to help support organizations fighting for racial equity, Humble Bundle wrote in a blog post. There's a lot there. There's stuff like Baba Is You, there's stuff like Hyperlight Drifter, Jackbox Party Pack 4,
Spelunky,
NBA 2K20, Bioshock. There's a lot there. There's a bunch of
comics too.
Comics and books. So there's a lot there. So if you're at all interested, $30 is a fucking steal.
Yep.
And as we talked about last week, the protests are still going. The media seems to have stopped covering it, but a lot of people back all over the world are still loud, still protesting.
And they should. You have to keep it going. If you stop, then people are just going to turn a blind eye.
Exactly. People will go back to quote-unquote normal, and normal just gets people killed. So please continue to donate, continue to pay attention, continue to educate, and...
I think this is a great deal too, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I haven't bought it yet because I just found out about it today, but as soon as I get home, I'm actually probably going to buy this because there's some games that I want there, and if it's going to a good cause. And also, interesting fact, a lot of the comics and books that they've chosen to put in this bundle are related to racial issues.
Nice.
And they're like topical based on the events going on.
Right.
So
yeah,
really great collection of things.
I bought the Itch.io bundle. I'm looking at this one as well. I'm going to take another look at the games list later. But this is fantastic, and I think that if you are at all interested in even a couple of these games, it's going to an incredible cause, and people deserve better, black people deserve better, and we need to do more. So let's keep doing that. So I wanted to start our whole fucking run of news with that. Because I think it's important.
Yeah.
Now going to something completely fucking, I don't even know where to begin with this.
So before we talk about what we're actually going to say, we both watched this trailer last night, and it completely left my mind as soon as I went about my day. I think I just repressed the memory from my head.
I have just been confused. It's been at the back of my mind, just continuing to fester.
Like a dark seed of corruption.
Like a heartless little thing in the back of my mind. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory is a rhythm game coming to Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. This comes from Adam Bankhurst. Square Enix has announced Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, a rhythm game coming to Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One later this year. The announcement trailer shows Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory in action, and it looks to feature character designs and gameplay that is similar in form to Square Enix's Final Fantasy
Theatrhythm.
Thank you.
Theatrhythm.
Okay, Darren. I have complicated feelings about this.
It's putting it lightly.
For just to start,
it's a rhythm game.
It's fine. It's a rhythm game. Fine. I was genuinely surprised by reactions to this online.
Yeah.
People seem excited.
Yeah.
A lot of people really, really love the Kingdom Hearts music. I find it a little weird that at least in the trailer, they have Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora, Donald, and Goofy flying over what is a major character's death scene.
Yeah.
And, like, shit like that. And then, using the sprites and the
I thought it was a mobile game at first. I'm like, oh, you know what, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Mobile Kingdom Hearts rhythm game. Yeah. Whatever.
And, like, using Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora, Donald, and Goofy again for whatever fucking reason, when that's the worst design out of all of them. Yeah. And then, in the last fucking 15 seconds of the trailer, Kingdom Hearts does what Kingdom Hearts do, and they throw massive fucking lore-bending shit that is evidently going to be part of this, looking completely different, almost like it's an entirely different game.
Yeah, it goes from this mobile game PS2 art style to full-on PlayStation 4 Unreal Engine rendered cutscenes looking straight out of Kingdom Hearts 3 that no one's ever seen before.
Yeah. And like, as from what I understand, these are
memories that Kyrie's experiencing?
You're going into Kyrie's memories, and I guess she's also on acid because she's her memories are
musical
and Sora fucking flying through her mind.
Yeah.
Which is like, if we're going to Kyrie's memories, why the fuck is it Sora again?
Because Kyrie doesn't. Yeah, the developers just seem so scared of making Kyrie do anything.
Like, what the fuck? Just give her an opportunity to fucking do something.
Kyrie is benched permanently.
Like, it's...
She did apparently get much more playable activity in the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do with this. I like, of course the rhythm game is going to have massive lore implications for this fucking series.
This is what I hate. I am such a big Kingdom Hearts fan, and I hate this about the series, is every little side project has to be important to the lore. Even when they released a box set of cutscenes from the mobile game, being like, here's all the cutscenes from the mobile game. You know, this will catch you up from the mobile game, because of course the mobile game's important. Even then, by the time the game came out, Nomura was like, actually, I've added a bunch of extra stuff into the mobile game that's not covered by this collection that does lead into Kingdom Hearts 3. And people were like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So, like, this part of me, this like, rational part of me is like, I hate you for doing this.
Right.
How dare you insult me?
Again,
by making a rhythm game part of the lore. But...
Are you going to buy it?
I'm going to buy it.
I'm not.
I'm going to buy it, and I'll tell you why. I was not going to buy it. I've actually, after Kingdom Hearts 3, I was like, I think I'm done with the series. I'm probably just going to stop.
That was my point, too.
But I love Theater Rhythm, Final Fantasy.
Okay.
When I was in Japan, you can ask Destiny, I spent way too much time and money kind of just playing Theater Rhythm at the arcade machines.
Right.
And Kingdom Hearts music is, in my opinion, hot take here, better than Final Fantasy music.
Okay.
And I would just love to play Theater Rhythm, but for Kingdom Hearts. And I actually want it to play it for its own sake, regardless of the cutscenes. Well, and that's why I want to buy it.
And I think that's my problem here, is if it was just a rhythm game set like this, totally fine. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with rhythm games.
But people are going to be, like, punished for...
But, like...
not playing a rhythm game.
The fucking lore here. And, like, where the fuck are we going? I thought this was supposed to be the end of all this. I thought, like, the next step forwards was supposed to be kind of like a clean break.
Yeah. I think people are, like, thinking it's going to be just, like, filling in the blanks of stuff that we've seen already.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll fucking see,
we'll see,
Darren. The next piece of news, and on any other fucking Sunday, this would have been my favorite piece of news for the day, but this has to fucking always come up against the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Persona 4 Golden is now available on PC. This again comes from Adam Bankhurst. Persona 4 Golden, an updated version of 2008's Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4, is now available on PC. Announced at the PC Gaming Show, Persona 4 Golden is $19.99 USD on Steam, and there's also a digital deluxe edition that includes a digital art book and soundtrack. Darren, the Vita, if it wasn't dead before, is fucking dead now. Because,
it's been killed.
Like, that was literally the only reason I haven't gone back to play this is because the Vita, like, now I've had it so long that the battery doesn't last more than a couple hours.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I bought it, obviously.
Of course.
I was in the hospital, Darren.
Yeah.
Lying in bed. Few hours after surgery. I had just, like, gotten my shit together. And all I remember is grabbing my phone, buying it on Steam, and then passing back out. Like,
I logged onto Steam to buy it because when I found out I've never played Persona 4, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy it. And I saw in my notifications, like, Burnout Brighter has purchased Persona 4. I'm like, wow, Matt must be doing okay if he...
I literally was like,
half
Persona. And I started it. I did. I started it on PC. It looks better than what I thought it was going to for being like a fucking 12-year-old game. People are really, really happy with the port.
Nice.
Given its accessibility options, like apparently there's a lot that you can change, and the fact that it's almost entirely mouse playable.
Mouse and keyboard playable, yeah.
And like even like menus and stuff, which from what I understand, a lot of PC ports will have to make you use like the arrow keys and stuff to click on shit.
Especially unusual for
Atlas. Yeah. And like they've made it available on Steam in Japan, which again apparently is an unusual thing. I'm so amped, and the price point is perfect.
Yeah.
$20 for this is perfect. I think if they went like, and it already fucking is selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
This for me, and like I'm really excited about this because having just finished Persona 5 Royal, to go back to Persona 4 Golden, because in my mind, even finishing Royal, I was like, man, Royal makes 5 better.
Yeah.
4 Golden to me still
the best.
So now I'm going to get to go back to it and see if that holds up.
Right back to back.
And like, I'm so excited to play them right back to back just to see how it does hold up, and if like how much of it is just
memory or like nostalgia or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm super stoked.
Yeah.
If you're at all curious about the series, this is a great fucking entry point.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic game. It still is right now my favorite game of all time. So if you're at all curious, if hearing me rant about Persona has done anything to you over the course of the last 40 episodes, buy in, get this shit, and let's fucking hope that we see 3 come in the same way.
Yeah.
Let's hope that we get whole remasters. Just give me more 3 and 4.
I'm very excited too because, you know, I did buy it because I've never played Persona 4, and for years you've been like, Darren, just borrow my Vita.
Yeah.
Just play some Persona 4 Gold. And I'm like, no, I a couple times considered buying Persona 4 for PS2 and playing it that way.
Right.
And I just held off, and I'm so happy I bided my time enough.
Yeah.
I even actually looked at PlayStation TV one time so I could buy a TV just so I could buy not an actual TV.
I know,
PlayStation
the PS TV. It's like one of the little dongles that you can use to play Vita shit.
I was going to buy one of those just to play Persona 4.
And here you go.
Here I am.
There you go.
Waiting paid off.
Yeah, I'm super surprised that they brought it to PC. I'm super happy that people are very happy with the port.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, it fucking works. Here we go.
Yeah.
Like, much smarter people than I that know the PC ecosystem a lot better are happy with it. So if you're curious, go buy it. If you're not curious, go buy it. If you want to play it, go buy it. If you don't want to play it, go buy it. This is fucking home run. And for me, like, feeling kind of crappy, it's such like a nice comfort to come back to and to see these characters again, and like the voice acting is top notch, and Japanese VA for the first time. But like, I've become so synonymous with the English voice cast because it's so good that like I can't switch.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Anyways, I'm done talking about Persona for now. I will give updates as I go, but yeah. Moving on to our first kind of bulky piece of news, the Guerrilla Collective. So the Guerrilla Collective is something that was organized in part by the Mix, the Media Indie Exchange. Kind of Funny is also working on it. IGN has been a part of it. It's a whole online digital festival merged. So it's basically the Media Indie Exchange merged with the Kind of Funny Games Showcase. Kind of Funny started their own kind of showcase a little while ago, and now they've teamed up with the Mix. So I'm going to there's 3 separate articles here that we're going to be kind of going through together, Darren.
Okay.
The Guerrilla Collective reveals, and there's
a lot.
There's like fucking like almost 90 games here. We're not going to talk about every single one, obviously, but we're going to go through the list together, and we're going to kind of cherry pick the ones that we think look interesting.
Yeah.
And just to kind of give a bit of a spotlight. If you're curious, look at like I said, IGN has 3 separate articles that just kind of bring up all of the games that they were announced. This was like a 3-day event. And each day they brought new shit. And kind of going hand in hand in this a little bit, Steam is also running until like June 22nd, I believe. Has a lot of free demos for a lot of new games coming. So if you're at all interested, go check it out. But yeah, shout out to the Mix. Shout out to Kind of Funny for putting this together because this is awesome. So we're going to go down this list together, Darren.
First thing on the list I'm already excited for is System Shock. System Shock is a game that I've always wanted to play. And the fact that the remake is still happening makes me very happy. I wish that I had a release date. But apparently a demo's going to come out soon. Yeah,
so I'm curious about it too. I've always heard people talk very highly about it. It came out when I was 2, or when we were 2. So we obviously hadn't had a chance to play it.
I've tried to go back and play the original, and like it's hard for me graphics wise and just like systems wise to get used to it. But
for sure,
I'm happy to see like a modern version of it come out.
Almighty Kill Your Gods is one that kind of stood out to me. It's coming to Windows, Mac, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. It's basically like if Destiny and Monster Hunter had a baby.
That sounds really fun.
Team up with your friends to go fight big creatures. You can fly. You can use a bunch of different magic and stuff. It looks cool. Going further down this list,
Genesis Noir sounds like something I really want to play. I know they revealed it at E3 last year, but a noir where you are exploring the events before and after the Big Bang, and the art style is amazing.
Yeah, it looks super cool. Boyfriend Dungeon, shout out for Destiny. I'm sure she's gonna play that when it comes out. Where
that was showed off at like an indie showcase on for Nintendo press conference one time, I think.
It's basically like...
Date your swords.
Yeah, it's a dungeon crawling experience, but it's also a dating sim where you can date your weapons. And they said... My favorite part about this game is that they said that they're not going to release it until the weapons are sexy enough. So good on them for making a really, really cool concept for a game.
Baldur's Gate 3, more information about that was very exciting. Go back to... Okay, yeah, right now it's still only announced for Windows. I hope at some point they port it like they did with Divinity to PS5 and Series X, because they said they would not port it to PS4 and Xbox One because they said they were not like viable enough like power wise. But Baldur's Gate, I've never played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, but Baldur's Gate 3 I want to play just on the basis that I'm very familiar with 5th edition D&D. And so I'd be very excited to play a game using that rule set and living in that world for a bit, because I feel like a lot of the time these games can be very like overwhelming. So like having that familiarity with the systems already would help me, I think, get into the game much quicker. And Larian's a great studio.
Yeah, Divinity's had raving reviews, so I'm curious whether it'll come over. I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Disco Elysium is now on Epic Game Store, so if you're at all curious, check that out. That's fucking awesome. I loved Disco Elysium. Did you ever go back to it, Darren?
No, I have to. I know they updated it to make it work on like potato quality computers. So I will. I'll go back to it. It's on my list. It's on my backlog. But
there's just so many good fucking games right now.
Yeah, and I picked 3 like friggin' long ass JRPGs to play back to back with Persona Royal, and then I'm gonna play Final Fantasy Remake finally. And after that, I'm gonna play Xenoblade Definitive Edition.
Yeah, and also fucking throwing The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima in there somewhere. Good lord.
God, I'm gonna be playing games for years now.
Yeah. Just Die Already is takes the cake for What the Fuck trailer.
The trailer was interesting.
That's the new game from the devs that did Goat Simulator.
The trailer's a parody of Death Stranding,
and basically begging Hideo Kojima to hang out. So,
I'd say watch the trailer.
Yeah,
the
watch.
Trailer's pretty good.
I'm sure the game will be fun enough, but yeah, the trailer is a fucking sight to behold. No Straight Roads is one that hopped out to me. It looks like you're trying to start a rock band to end the EDM empire. The game is it looks like an action adventure game. You kind of hop around to different areas. It looks cool enough.
Yeah, interesting.
It's something I'm going to keep my eye on. Let's see.
Metal Hellsinger, I keep getting ads for, I think on Reddit, where it's like, it looks like Doom, but it's a rhythm game FPS. So you kill to the beat of the rhythm.
The creative director said, I love Rock Band and I love Doom.
So let's put it together, I guess.
And there you go. That's what that fucking game is going to be. Shout out to Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch. Oh my god.
Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch.
Thank you. I keep fucking up this goddamn name. With our friend James over at Interrobang, this is the game that he's working on. So please check that out as well. The graphics looks beautiful.
Yeah, art style looks amazing.
The art style looks amazing. The animations, shout out to James again, look fucking smooth as shit.
Yeah.
So check that out too.
I know people are excited about Evil Geniuses too, but I don't know anything about this game. I just heard that people are happy that that's coming out.
I'm happy people are happy. I've never heard of it either. Persona 4 Golden, obviously, which I go check it out if you want to. Like, if you're fucking curious.
It's fine. It's a fine game.
It's a game.
There's a lot of what the fuck. The cabbage effect.
I looked at this trailer. It's basically like you're playing aliens that are trying to piece together the last days on Earth, based on just like remnants. That's a good premise.
Yeah, I like that.
The trailer, at least the one that I watched, didn't show any gameplay, so I'm curious to see how it actually plays, but it looks funny enough.
Almighty Kill Your Gods again.
Yeah, Haven looks cool for me. It's like you're like it almost like Journey-ish, but it's like Journey JRPG kind of, where you're, like, your two characters working together to like clear this area, this world of some sort of contagion or some sort of like rot.
Interesting.
It looks cool. Let's see what else. Anything else on this list that jumps out to us? Summer and Mara looks very, very cute. I follow the devs on Twitter. It's basically like if Wind Waker and Animal Crossing had a baby.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks really cute.
So it's got kind of like a village building aspect, but you're still doing adventuring. So it's more like a Stardew Valley kind of thing.
Kind of, yes. But like there's also like sailing. You go to different islands to collect resources and stuff. It looks cute. Okay, that's it from day 2.
And then day 3, what do we get from day 3?
Day 3 is pretty short, comparatively to the others. Let's see here.
Iron Harvest. Say no more.
No, Say No More.
Oh.
I looked into that. It's a game about saying no. It's a mobile game.
West of Dead. That looks actually really cool. Ron Perlman's doing the voice. And I might be mixing this up with a different game, but I believe it's made by some ex-Arcane Studios members.
I feel like that's right, but I'm not 100% sure.
I know they were working on a Western game too, and I feel like I might be mixing them up, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, very interesting. The Guerrilla Collective was a really, really cool idea.
Yeah.
And I think because E3's not here right now, it's the perfect time to do that, because indies usually take a pretty big backseat in media representation during E3. Mm-hmm. And so it's nice to have time for the indies to actually, I think, have more of a be brought to the forefront.
Exactly, and the mix is the perfect thing to do it. The Kind of Funny Games Showcase has been doing it for a year and a half now, so it's they always focus on indies, so that's great. All right, Darren, get into the thing that we've been wanting to talk about. Not that we didn't want to talk about the other stuff, but this is something that you and I have been looking forward to for a very long time.
We both woke up at like 4 a.m. to watch this press conference.
Yep, that we sure did. It was 5 a.m. that we started, but
I woke up at 4:30.
Yeah, me too. Because I didn't want anything spoiled. But the PS5 has finally been unveiled. So this is coming from the article by Tom Marks over at IGN. Basically, we're going to cherry pick different stuff. Darren, where do you want to start here? Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the console? Do you want to start with the games?
I feel like we should start with the games.
Okay, let's start with the games.
Because that's like the order that they did it in the presentation, so we could go in the same order.
Sure. So we'll just go down the list here.
We have games that we are like really excited about, or just things that stood out. Do you want to do like general impressions of the conference first?
Yes, let's start there.
So coming out of the press conference, I actually felt kind of like not good about it, and I felt a little upset, and I'm wondering if it's because, I mean, being part of an aspect of being involved in like trying to cover the games industry, like you have to look at rumors and you have to know about a lot of rumors, and I think a lot of the stuff that was supposed to be surprises had been rumored for so long,
right? So
I didn't feel like much of it was a surprise, so maybe I felt a little let down because of that. And I have to acknowledge that, because in hindsight, I feel better about the press conference looking back on the games that I'm actually interested in.
Right.
But another problem I had was I felt like a lot of the games, while they did look really good, I don't think any of them really stood out at me as great displays of, wow, this shows how much stronger the PS5 is.
Not even Horizon?
PS4. Horizon and... It was after the fact, Demon's Souls.
Okay.
And Ratchet and Clank.
Right.
Those are the only three that I felt like, yeah, this is it. Yeah. This is next gen. Horizon only even a little bit, though. Because with Horizon, it was really hard to tell how much of it was gameplay and how much of it was pre-rendered cutscenes.
We haven't seen any gameplay, really. Like, not anything that they said this is gameplay,
so maybe if they showed me someone actually playing the game and showed me that it looked that good, I'd feel better about it.
Right.
But right now, it just like felt like this could be cutscene. Like, I don't know how representative it is. I say after the fact Demon's Souls, because the released screenshots that I know from playing Demon's Souls are real screenshots from the game. Looked unbelievably beautiful.
Right, because Bluepoint has rebuilt it from the ground up.
Yeah. And so, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, after the fact, I feel better when I think about the games. I'm like, I actually do want to play all these games.
Right.
But for me, as like a display of just sheer power, I wasn't super impressed just watching the conference. I'm
on the other end of it. I was really happy with the conference. And here we go. The fucking hype hole and the hype evangelical.
Hype vacuum.
The hype hole.
Hype hole, right.
The hype hole.
That's what,
that's what I've deemed.
The hole. Good.
And so for me, I was actually super impressed. I didn't expect them to go so hard with the indies.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very glad that they did.
Yeah.
There was a bunch there that looks really cute, that looks really cool. And we'll talk about them specifically, but the first party stuff that they showed me, a lot of it I'm in for, and a bunch of the indie stuff I'm surprised with. I thought that it was paced well. I think at just over an hour, it didn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
I think ending on the console reveal was the right call.
Yeah.
I think getting the GTA 5 shit out right at the beginning and just having it done and over with was, again, a good call.
Yeah.
I do really appreciate how they handled it. And again, like it's similar with PlayStation, how they've been handling it since the beginning of the PS4. They just did games. They didn't have a lot of talking heads. They didn't have a ton of anything else other than like, this is what you're going to be playing. They didn't date a lot of things, which was.
I was going to ask you about that. How do you feel about the lack of release dates?
That is my one issue with the conference.
Because I think the only thing that was 100% announced to be coming out first party, and I think also not counting indie games for 2020, was Spider-Man.
Yes, I think that's true. I think that they haven't.
Although I missed the Gran Turismo part, so I don't know if Gran Turismo is coming.
They didn't date a lot, and I think part of that is because of Corona.
Yeah.
Just with them, so
Godfall
is a holiday 2020, and Astro's Playroom.
Right, but that's kind of like
coming day and date. Yo, Astrobot was fucking amazing.
No, I'm not talking about the quality of the game. I'm saying, isn't that going to be kind of like a port-ish of the VR game?
No, it's a brand new experience.
Yeah? Okay.
It's entirely it comes packaged with the console.
Right. Well, yeah. So Playroom came packed with the console for PS4, and
there wasn't anything there
special.
But people were really happy with Astrobot.
Yeah. It's not what I would call something that it would entice me to buy a console.
Sure. There wasn't much else. I think a large part of that, I think that there is more. I think they've learned a lesson after the PS4 came out with hopefully how little there was first party. But I think they're just wary on hitting dates, as Corona is very much still a very big problem, especially in the States, and then back home in Canada it's still an issue too. So I think they're wary about dating stuff. They have said that they're doing another presentation in August. And I do think that's when we're actually going to get the final price. And
probably get looks at the user interface and stuff like that.
And, like, probably some gameplay of the shit that's actually coming this year.
Yeah.
Granted, again, like, it's...
But you think, though, that, like, if stuff was coming pretty soon, that they would show it.
I think that because this was the first...
Look, they're trying to show the biggest things.
They're trying to
look, it's amazing.
Yeah, they're just trying to get people hyped right now, right? And, like... We did see some gameplay. We saw Ratchet and Clank, which looked fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, that looked amazing.
Right? Like we did see some stuff.
Yeah.
And we saw some gameplay from Gran Turismo, which looked beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I wasn't expecting a massive graphical jump, just because for me, I always temper my expectations when it comes to console launches, because the beginning of a console generation is never indicative of what the console can actually do.
Yeah. Given
that, like, they've had probably a limited amount of time with the actual final build. They probably have ideas for a couple of years, but they probably don't have that much time with the actual console. On top of, like, it takes time for these things to kind of hit their swing. And for me, I don't know, I was also just never going to be like, this next console generation is going to be incredible graphics. For me, it was always more like, shit's going to run a lot better. Yeah. There's going to be more happening at one time, which was kind of my expectation for next gen.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of unavoidable. Like, this generation, we have kind of hit the point of diminishing returns in terms of just graphics quality. Yeah. But at the same time, and like, I love indies, and like, I'm always happy when they show off indies at like E3 conferences and stuff like that. My only problem with the indies now is the indies are not a good show of what your console is capable of.
Of course not. But like, I don't really think that they have to be.
Yeah.
Like,
they're just trying to show, like, here's the PS5, here's what it's capable of.
I think a lot of what they've shown is the first year. I don't think we saw anything that's going... Like, I think everything that we saw is going to be out by the end of 2021. And if this thing comes out October, November, if you have Ratchet with it, or if you have some major first-party thing, and then, like, we have Hitman 3 coming in January, and things continue to roll, I'm expecting things are only going to look better and better. And again, like, look at The Last of Us 2 compared to Killzone Shadowfall. Right? They're not comparable with how they look, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing massively compared to another. So I think I think this is just our first taste of what things could be, especially with Horizon.
That's fair. That's fair. I hope it's a good offering, because, like, for me personally, if all they have at launch is Spider-Man, like, I won't get one at launch because, like,
sure,
it's one game, right? Like, But yeah, no, I see what you mean. About, like, that. I'm hoping they show some more.
I'm happy with it. I was really happy with it. I thought, like, there was enough there, and like a lot of the indies and stuff, I was like, shit, this is something I want to play. And even the stuff that I'm not interested in, I was like, I'm glad it's here. Like, this is for somebody else.
That's one thing that I was forgetting to say. There was something I was trying to say. I was thinking about, okay, one of the things that people have been talking about, and obviously when they talked about specs originally at the different press conferences, just showing off specs, people are like, in numbers, the Series X has better specs just on paper. And one of the things that sets PS5 apart is its hard drive. It's solid state drive. for load times. And I thought that they were going to try and show that off more. The only thing that really showed that off was Ratchet and Clank.
Right, but that was one of the only pieces of gameplay that we've seen.
I know, and that's why I thought, like, that's one of the things, if you're trying to sell the console, you should show that off if that's your, like, big ticket thing.
See, what I'm really, really curious about is because I think it goes without saying that the first-party stuff is going to be the stuff that will benefit from the most.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're only worried about the PS5.
Yeah.
Like, they can throttle that as much as they want.
With third-party,
third-party stuff, they still have to
develop for Xbox.
Which is not to say that it's, like, lesser than, but, like, it's the amount that their SSDs can do is night and day. It's a big gap there.
If the graphics are better on Xbox, they're going to develop graphics for PS5.
Exactly.
If the load times are better on PS5, they're going to develop load times for Xbox.
Exactly.
It's always the lowest common denominator.
And not to say that they're not going to be optimized for one and the other, but
it's unavoidable.
It's just so I think that like it's going to be really interesting to see because back in the PS3 days and the Xbox 360 days, third party was better on 360, and I don't think there's any fucking debate there. It just was.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what third party is going to look like a year or two down the line after people have had some time developing for these.
I agree.
But yeah, let's take a look at the games. So Horizon Forbidden West was announced.
Yes.
The Horizon 2, the follow-up. We got some shots of Aloy, and looked like something like San Francisco. It looked beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I'm excited about this one, but I also need to go back to the first Horizon. I hit a wall with that game.
Yeah, you never finished it.
I never finished it, so I do own it. I just have to go back to it.
I'm very excited to see what they do with this. I think if they keep talking about their solid state, I think the games that are going to benefit from that the best are going to be the open world games. Mm-hmm. Because if you can have seamless everything loading in really quickly, seamless like wildlife and animals coming in and everything like that.
A lot more going on the screen.
A lot more going on screen. And I loved Horizon 1. I remember when it came out very close to Breath of the Wild and all the comparisons I make to Breath of the Wild.
That's what it was. That
came out at the same time.
They came out at the same time, and I got like completely wrapped up in Zelda. And like just the climbing mechanics.
Yeah.
That was something that I couldn't mentally get over. So I was like, I'm going to give myself a break from Horizon because it's not fair.
Yeah. And you can see in this trailer, they almost make a comment about her climbing wherever she wants. And it shows a footage of her climbing a rock. So I wonder if they're trying to imply that climbing will be more like Assassin's Creed-like, where you'll be able to climb wherever you want. And it'll be less like, because in Horizon 1, you can only climb in specific spots.
Right.
So I bet you now they'll let you climb wherever you want, because that was a big complaint from the first game.
Right.
And I think that's a kind of a funny conversation too, because I liked Breath of the Wild better. No, I did. I loved Horizon, but I defended Breath of the Wild, and I think you loved Breath of the Wild, and you kind of defend Horizon more in certain situations. We had this cyclical conversation before. Anyways, Horizon I loved, and I'm very excited to play Horizon 2. And I'm really excited to see what they do, and I think that this will make really, really good use of the PS5.
I agree. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales was announced. There was a whole lot of fucking confusion about this when it was announced. At least for me, I was kind of like, this is a standalone game. This is going to be something like Uncharted, the Chloe and...
Lost Legacy.
Yeah, Lost Legacy, thank you. Something along the lines of Infamous First Light.
Yeah.
It is a in-between Spider-Man 1 and 2. I think putting the focus on Miles is fucking awesome. Yeah. I'm sad that it's again being put...
Is that confirmed that it's like a side story, it's not the sequel?
It's basically confirmed that it's a standalone. They're calling it a standalone.
But it's probably not going to be the same length of like Spider-Man 2.
No. They're basically saying it's going to be something akin to Uncharted.
Lost Legacy. Okay.
Exactly. So they've pretty much confirmed that. Yeah. They've used Uncharted Lost Legacy as their thing. Like that's what they said this is going to be like.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting something, 6 to 8 hours, something a little shorter. I expect it to be fucking awesome. Spider-Man 1 was fantastic. It was one of my favorite PlayStation 4 games. I'm just sad that it's again like Miles' story. What I'm hoping for is that this is an introduction for it,
and then in 2 you'll play them both or something like that.
Is what I'm hoping for, because I don't want to see Miles take a back seat if they're going to be doing I don't want to see Miles' story only told in these little in between things. Yeah. He deserves his own game.
Yeah,
full blown fucking everything. And if this is just whetting our appetite for him to have a much bigger role in Spider-Man 2, I think that's fine.
Yeah,
but I'm worried that he's going to have that he's not going to be as involved as Pete.
Because they're like, well, Miles Morales had his side game.
Exactly.
So we'll
and like this seems to be a common trend with getting minority characters or female characters
They'll get the side stories.
They'll get the side stories rather than the actual main event, let's say. I'm happy it exists, and I'm happy that they seem that they've brought on some... they have brought on some black creators to help work on the game.
Okay.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's hope that it's fucking awesome. I don't have any doubts that it will be. I just hope that this is a step in the right direction rather than continuing the trend.
Yeah, I agree.
Resident Evil 8 Village was revealed.
I had a conversation about this with my brother. So my brother Sean loves Resident Evil. Mm-hmm. Resident Evil is like his jam. Loved Resident Evil 7. Loved Resident Evil 2 Remake. Never played 3 Remake because he doesn't have a PS4. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to him about Resident Evil 8. And me and him are... I think I'm more positive about it than he is.
Why is that? What does he feel negatively about it?
It's such a weird departure from the Resident Evil, not the Resident Evil formula. I think there's no reason to not believe the gameplay loop will not be similar to Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 Remake. Mm-hmm. Just in terms of the tone and the enemies, we're going from zombies and bio-monsters to werewolves and vampires.
Right.
So that's, I think, what's the hard pill to swallow.
I wonder, because at least from me, from the outside looking in, it's cool, after 7 games, if they want to change up the monster variety a little bit, I think that's cool. And I'm sure there will be some zombies. I'd be shocked.
I think they already confirmed there'll be zombies.
I'm sure I'd be shocked if there weren't any.
Yeah.
Adding more. So what is his problem with it? That he just
Well, he just thinks he's just worried. That's he's just worried. He's oh, they're
it was just our first look. So I can understand if somebody took Persona 7 or Persona 6 and was by the way, it's all about cats now. I'd have a fucking
it's that. I think both he's ultimately excited and I'm ultimately excited too. And we both love the castle setting because I think that's a great setting for a Resident Evil game. Although Resident Evil is supposed to be Resident Evil, it's close to home. Castle's not really that close to home, but you can do a lot of fun puzzles.
Well, it's also a village.
It's a village.
Yeah.
And I love the Gothic architecture and stuff like that. And I want to say the trailer looked like trash. Visually, the frame rate looked awful.
Yes, they acknowledged it actually, basically being we're still working on it.
And I didn't doubt that for a second also because Resident Evil 7 runs smooth. Yeah. No frame rate issues. Same with Resident Evil 2. I had no reason to believe. I assume it's just early stuff. They're just
Yeah.
But fun fact, I think the reason why it's such a departure, I heard rumors that it wasn't meant to be Resident Evil 8. It was actually going to be, there's a side story called Resident Evil Revelations, and there's been Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, and that's usually where they try their, weird stuff.
I see.
Revelations 1 was on a boat, Revelations 2 was in this weird, island that was almost like a Saw puzzle.
Okay.
And, you're playing, this weird, you had, stuff infected in you and stuff like that. It was bizarre. Right. And so this was going to be Revelations 3, where you're fighting, werewolves and vampires, but it tested so well and the company liked it so much and people enjoyed it so much, they're forget it. This is not Revelations 3 anymore.
We're going
this
full
is 8. Yeah, this is 8. Where it's going.
I think now, so my question for you as someone who's never finished 7, I started it, I never finished it. 7, the protagonist is just a dude.
Yeah, he's just a dude.
And now 8 is the same dude.
The same dude.
Who must have some of the worst fucking luck in the history of normal dude characters.
Yeah.
After narrowly surviving fucking 7, he now has to deal with a lot worse, and he never asked for it.
Yeah.
Because, before, traditionally, the protags of the Resident Evil games are trained agents, or they're fucking cops, or right?
Except for, Resident Evil 2, where Claire is literally just looking for her brother, who's a trained officer. She's looking for him, so she's just a civilian. But then in later games, she's I'm all prepared now and stuff like that. So this is a dude, and he's well, I'm still just a dude.
Yeah, I'm going to the fucking mountains because fuck what just happened to me.
Yeah, and it looks like Chris, the protagonist from the very first Resident Evil, is going to be the villain in this game.
They can't fucking settle what he looks like.
No, they keep every game he looks different. All the characters look different.
He looks
every game.
Wildly different.
They also keep reting and changing voice actors, so they don't even sound consistent.
Right now, he has a very high pitched, whiny voice.
But it seems like honestly, it seems like he's very obsessed with continuing the Redfield bloodline, which is a meme in the Resident Evil universe.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so he's just very angry.
I guess we'll see. I'm excited that you're excited about it.
Yeah,
Resident Evil games for me are always I'm going to play this one. I started playing this one. I'm not playing this one no more.
Yeah.
And it's not even like for me, what got to me ultimately with 7 was the horror because I was trying to play in VR.
Yeah.
It was some scary shit.
Also, because it's still in first person, I'm really hoping that at some point they confirm for VR again. Because they know PSVR is working with PS5. So I'm hoping that it's still VR.
Would you play it in VR?
I would play it in VR first.
Nice.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Awesome. Gran Turismo 7 was shown off.
Yep.
Neither one of us too excited. It looks fucking fantastic.
My dad loves Gran Turismo, but he said he's not going to buy this one unless they change the leveling system. Because they like microtransactioned the hell out of the last one.
Okay.
So
let's hope they don't do that.
Yeah.
Looks beautiful. That's about all I can say about it. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was announced.
That looks great.
Looks fucking awesome. And them like rifting through different areas. I got like flashbacks to Thor Dark World's final battle.
Yeah, it was great.
But like it's fucking cool. It looked like it was rendering immediately. Like they were warping around and like going to different areas and different like completely different sections.
That's a great use of the hard drive. That's a great use of the
solid state drive.
Solid, I keep saying hard drive.
Yeah.
That's a great use of the SSD. I can't wait to just like mess around warping through places.
Yeah. The game looks beautiful. I think this looks fucking awesome. I loved the reboot. I know that it didn't. I know everybody was a little bit upset about the story.
I liked it too, though.
Yeah,
I think that gameplay wise, it was like it really hit the mark.
I'm super stoked for like a new Ratchet.
Yeah.
And everybody's and they've also confirmed since that the female Lombax shown in the trailer will also be playable.
Really?
Yes, they've confirmed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've confirmed.
Oh man.
Again, to what capacity remains to be seen. Whether she's going to have her own missions or if it's going to be interchangeable.
Yeah.
But she is confirmed playable.
That's cool.
Which is awesome. And there's already fucking
tons of fan art.
Tons of fan art about her. Demon Soul Remake announced. This coming from Bluepoint. I know this was probably your game of show.
This was my game of show, hands down.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm so excited. I can't believe they're ever going to do this. I think Demon Souls has by far aged the absolute worst of all the From games. Chris and Devin are both playing Demon Souls 1 right now for the very first time. And both of them are like, I hope they change a lot.
Right.
Because mechanics-wise, there's a reason why they have not made some of the decisions that they used to make.
Do you think they will change a lot?
I honestly hope they do. I don't know if I want to get my hopes up because they might be scared because the like FromSoft Soulsborne community is so into like keeping things the same way they were before,
right,
that they might have a lot of complaints if they change too much. So I don't know if they will change too much.
I'm curious to see, like, especially, and I know this is comparing apples to oranges a little bit, but with Final Fantasy VII Remake doing quite different things and this being like a from the ground up remake.
Yeah.
Bluepoint hasn't really done much changing, but there are rumors that at least that they might add in some content that was supposed to be in the original.
Yeah.
And I wonder how they might overhaul systems a bit, if at all.
Yeah. If there's any From game that people, or if any Soulsborne game that people would be more open to things being changed, it'd probably be Demon Souls. Because that's, I think, maybe the less loved of the bunch.
Right.
And also, I heard the rumors of adding in the extra content. And I don't know how I feel about that yet. I know this trailer had like a snowy mountain that had not been there before.
Yeah.
But I rewatched the original release trailer, and there is a snowy mountain in one shot.
Oh, okay.
At the very beginning.
I was going to say, because at the beginning, the beginning looked much different in terms of its scenery.
It did. There was one shot of a very different looking snowy mountain.
Okay.
But there was a snowy mountain in the reveal trailer. Not the opening cutscene to the game, but the reveal trailer. So,
we'll see. Yeah. Deathloop PS5 gameplay revealed. This is coming from Arcane, coming out. That's also one that's holiday 2020 and PS5 exclusive.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's coming out probably somewhere around launch, if not at launch. This game, I'm incredibly excited for it. This looks super fucking cool. They've also gone on to confirm that the secondary character, the black woman, I'm not sure of their names, is playable. Like, so another player can invade your game to control her and basically seek you out and kill you while you're trying to do missions. It looks fucking awesome.
I am very excited. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I'm actually very optimistic because Arcane Studios has never made a bad game.
Yeah.
In my opinion, every single game they made been like perfect. So,
yeah, I love Dishonored. I want to go back to. I'm going to go back to Dishonored 2 now that it's on Game Pass. But yeah, I'm super stoked on this. I think it looked really cool. I thought the tone was great. I thought the trailer looked awesome.
Yeah.
And that, like, this kind of multiplayer sounds like a lot of fun. If I can invade your game and can constantly try and piss you off by stopping you from progressing, count me in. I'm there. They also confirmed that is a toggle. You don't have to.
You have to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
And 2020, thankfully, it's coming out holiday. That gives us something.
Yeah. NBA 2K21 coming fall 2020 as well.
Great.
It was a short character trailer. The sweat looked great. It looked like some
good sweat.
It looked like some good sweat. GTA Online at GTA 5, they basically said that GTA 5 is coming to PS5 at some point next year. GTA Online will be given to PS5 owners for free. Now, the only thing that I'm a little bit confused about, and I wasn't able to find a direct answer, is that it does seem that at some point somewhere it was said that the GTA Online will only be free for the first 3 months.
So maybe if you buy a PS5 or you have a PS, do they mean it will be free if you get it within those 3 months, or
as far as I understand,
only accessible for 3 months?
If you buy it, if you get it within those 3 months, it'll be free. If you try and get it 6 months in,
you have to pay for it.
You have to pay for it.
Man, yeah. Okay.
And again, they didn't say whether that's also they said GTA Online, so I don't think the base game will be part of that.
Yeah,
you'll probably be buying GTA 5 again.
Yeah.
Probably full price. Again, but we'll see. I hope that they make it cheaper. I hope it's like a $30 thing, because like, especially if the GTA Online is gonna be for free,
I can't imagine paying
full fucking price. Like, I'm sure that'll look a little better. Like they said, they're talking about adding some content, but who the fuck knows what that means anymore. And then in terms of so Sackboy: A Big Adventure was announced. This game looks cute.
Yeah,
it looks fine. Hitman 3 is coming January 2021. Again, more Hitman's awesome.
I liked Hitman 1. Never played 2.
Yeah,
but I really enjoyed it, and maybe I'll go back and play 2. Yeah. Maybe I'll play 3. I love Hitman. Hitman's great.
I used to play a lot of Hitman when I was younger, and now it's... Ever since you told me that you can actually save mid-mission, which somehow I fucking missed out on playing a bit of 2, I think it was 1 or 2.
You're like, I want to go back and try it again, yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo had some more gameplay revealed.
It did not... I will be fair, and I will say, it did not look like how I thought it was going to look when they first announced it.
Uh-huh.
It looked, when they first announced it, like it was going to be a lot darker, a lot more serious, a little closer to horror, and now we got some kind of weird Cyber Tokyo, Slender Man, Doctor Strange, ghost fighting game.
Almost like Bioshock-esque.
Yeah, with like neon lights and things like that.
It looks cool.
It still looks fun.
Yeah, I'm watching it. This isn't one for me that I'm like, I'm gonna buy this.
Yeah.
I have to see a little bit more of it. Godfall, more gameplay.
I don't really feel good about it.
I don't feel... You know what? I don't feel anything about it.
Yeah.
I don't feel good. I don't feel bad. It's there.
You don't feel.
I don't feel. If it reviews well, I might pick it up. If this is a game, like, if a couple friends wanted to jump in and we do it together, then I'd probably pick it up if it reviewed well. Yeah. But it's not a day one buy for me.
No.
Pragmata was revealed from Capcom.
Looked like a goddamn Death Stranding DLC.
I thought it was. I thought it was Death Stranding DLC through and through.
Yeah.
I think this is the game from the original Dead Space writer.
Oh yeah, it's being made by Capcom.
Yeah. This had a release date set for 2022.
I was very intrigued by the trailer.
I'm curious. I'm waiting to see more.
Yeah, I want to see some gameplay
because it looked like Death Stranding but space.
And I did love me some Death Stranding.
You did. Yeah. Astro's Playroom was revealed. This is a new game in the Astrobot series. This game is going to come with every PS5 for free.
Cool.
I'm fucking amped. I loved Astrobot on PSVR. I think it's a super, super cute character. And like it did a great job of using everything PSVR had to offer in different ways. So I'm not surprised that they're going to use this to show off everything that the DualSense can do.
I've never played Astrobot VR. I want to because I've heard so many people say so many good things about it. I don't really like the design of the character. I think he looks kind of weirdly like he looks like DreamWorks, if you know what I mean. He doesn't look like primo, well-designed.
Maybe you just need some more time with him, Darren. Maybe you need to hang out with Astrobot a little bit.
But, I mean, if it's a free thing, that's great. It's a little free extra thing.
Yeah, and it's something that comes with the console. Yeah. Oddworld Soulstorm was announced.
Great.
Yeah, I have no affinity to this series.
Yeah.
That's it. Returnal from Housemarque. This goes without saying the worst name.
I hate this name.
I hate this. This name makes me sound like I'm choking halfway through.
Returnal. Every time I hear Returnal, I think of like anal.
Yes,
like there's
me too.
Like there's something wrong with my rectum.
Like something is returning
through my rectum.
Yeah, and like the game itself looks interesting.
Like a rectal disease.
Yeah, like the game itself looks great, but the name sucks.
I'm actually very excited from the game from what I saw. The trailer looks very interesting, kind of weird, like third-person shooter with some horror.
With some like Groundhog Day
Day stuff. Like, very excited from what I saw of the gameplay. Oh god, your name is...
Horrid.
It's... It makes me want to like returnal through my throat.
It's like you know how
I want to expel my bowels.
You know how some people have a problem with like a word like moist? It makes them uncomfortable.
Returnal is this word for me.
This word makes me uncomfortable.
I think it's just the returnal. It's all in your throat.
Yeah, it's a
just
very like
won't leave my mouth.
Did you hear about that new game? Destruction's All Stars was announced. This looks to be like a PvP Destruction Derby game.
It's the sound your butthole makes when you have returnal.
Yeah. Yeah. Or your stomach makes when you have returnal. Yeah, this looks kind of like a Destruction Derby, but you can also get out and run around. It looks interesting enough.
It's like Fortnite mixed with Twisted Metal, which is my worst nightmare.
Mixed with Rocket League kind of thing.
I hate it. This kind of game is like designed for me to not like it.
I think it looked fine. For me, again, this will be something, if it's $20 and it reviews well, I'd actually pick it up.
Right.
If it's full price, then no. Period.
Yeah.
If it's full price, I'm not buying this game.
It looks like weird Twitch bait garbage to me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that's a little harsh, Darren. But
my true colors are coming out.
But whatever. It was there. Project Athea was announced from Squeenix and Luminous. This looked fucking awesome. This is something that I'm incredibly hyped on. Gary Whitta of Star Wars Rogue One fame and Book of Eli, and who works with Kind of Funny, and he does the Animal Crossing talk show, which blew up. Is part of the writers team for this. Apparently, they brought in like a bunch of games, movies, comics, and like a whole bunch of different writers together to create this universe. I'm in.
I'm very interested in what I saw for this. I also, I like the way it looks. I refuse to get excited for anything that has the word project in its title, because it means that either it will come out in 5 years or it will just never come out at all.
For Squeenix, it's very them. It's a very Square Enix thing. Like Project Octopath Traveler worked out well.
That's true. That actually came out
and was
quite
good.
Timely.
Yeah, and was
great. Decent.
I actually really liked it. I had some issues with it, but I really liked it as a whole.
But Project Athea. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for it to come out anytime soon.
I'm gonna hold all my breaths. Stray was announced, coming 2021.
This looks adorable.
Your cat Al was hella hyped on this. This was like the most excited I heard. Him being when we were watching this together. I'm curious to see gameplay. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing for me. From their reveal trailer, it looks super cute. I want to see how this game plays.
I just love the idea of like a little cat running through a little robot city.
Little backpack cat.
Little backpack cat running through a robot city, and you're going to see little paws climbing on things. It'll be beautiful.
It'll be real cute. Kenna Bridge of Spirits was announced. This game for me was one of the ones that stole the show for me. This looks fucking awesome. This looks This looks like an animated movie kind of come to life from what I was looking, and like everything about it looked really, really cool. So like as much as like Spider-Man was easily my most hype moment, this caught me the most off guard.
Yeah, I know gameplay wise it looks kind of fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really curious. I'm not excited yet. I think like graphically it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Graphically it's really, really good looking.
Something about this spoke to me. Something just hit me with this one. Goodbye Volcano High was announced. This is coming for a release date 2021.
I don't know what it is.
It's a like a dinosaur story.
You play dinosaurs and you go to high school.
It looks kind of like Night in the Woods-esque.
Yeah. Is it just like a visual novel?
As far as I don't really know. The people behind it seem very, very excited about it. And again, this is something that I'm watching.
Are they going to die from an asteroid at the end?
Oh my god, Darren.
Or a meteor?
That would be a horrifying end to this game.
Is that just how... I mean, it says goodbye Volcano High.
Yeah, I
Is the goodbye caused by a meteor?
That's a good question. We'll have to ask them. We're going to have to reach out to these devs and ask them.
Are they going to die?
For your game that comes out next year, does it end with an asteroid, meteor, or whatever the fuck? killing them all. Jet the Far Shore was revealed for holiday 2020. This was it looks like a little top-down flying shooter type thing.
I don't actually even remember this one.
This was the one that was like top-down. You have like a little spaceship type thing flying around. You seemed interested.
Did I really?
Yes. You said something about this looked interesting. It looks basically like a little, like a more indie No Man's Sky-ish kind of thing. Is this triggering anything for you?
No.
You seemed excited about this, actually. You were like, yeah, like, I'm curious about this.
Well,
okay, so...
Previous Darren
was
recommends looking into this.
Yes, previous Darren was curious about this.
Current Darren's like, I have to look at this again.
Yeah. Solar Ash, coming from the developers of Hyper Light Drifter. Yeah, so this is called... Yeah, so Solar Ash. It looked cool. I haven't played Hyper Light, so I have no Infinity...
I've heard good things about Hyper Light. So
me too.
I want to try it.
I want to try it, but yeah, look cool. Little Devil Inside. This is another one that really sold me on.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one too.
This basically looks like a Monster Hunter. Like you're a little guy fighting big enemies, but like with the trailer, I think this was the best trailer.
Yeah, this is my favorite trailer that I saw the whole time.
Yeah.
And anybody, even if you're not interested in the game, you have to watch the trailer. It's edited just great.
Yeah. The monster designs look super cool. The character design is awesome. The environments look beautiful. And the thing that I want to shout this game out for as well, and the devs behind this, they were met with some criticism about some of their character designs for their kind of like savage looking people, like they're kind of tribal people. They had big lips. They had dreadlocks. There was some people called it out like racial connotations.
Yeah.
They immediately apologized, said that like they had no intention, and they're changing the character models.
Good for them.
Like immediately they said, it really did seem like a, oh fuck, we didn't realize what we did.
Think about this.
Yeah, exactly. So like we're gonna change it.
Good for them.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they took that criticism well.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a, oh, this was never. It was just basically like, oh shit, okay, we're gonna change it. Like it was a very honest thing.
Good on them.
The thing that has torn the internet apart since this reveal was fucking Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks.
Everybody is talking about the song from this trailer. It is the thing online. They've edited like the Resident Evil 8 reveal trailer with the Bug Snacks music. This game is making massive waves online. People seem to be so excited about it, and the music behind this trailer is the thing that I've seen talked most about that conference outside of the PlayStation 5 itself.
I don't even remember the music. I remember really liking the trailer.
Go listen to it, and you will fall in love. It is stuck in my head constantly.
I want to see some. I'm gonna look up some of these edits. I want to see Resident Evil trailer with Bug Snacks.
It's the music is great. We don't really know what this game is. Some people think that it's actually secretly a horror game.
I loved Octodad. If it's actually secretly a horror game, that's amazing. Honestly, one of my ideal ideas for a horror game that I don't think anybody would ever be willing to do is make a game advertised as a cute kids game like this and secretly make it a horror game that you don't find out about until you actually play it.
Yeah, like with the way that the trailer ends with like this like monster attacking the camera. People seem to think that it might secretly be like a horror game as you're eating things.
I hope that's true so much, and I don't know if it's going to be true.
I don't know either, but like go check if go look up the trailer for Bug Snacks. That's BUGSNAX, and have your life prepared to be ruined by this music. It's so catchy, and it's going to be stuck in your head forever. And that was basically it. The last thing that we're going to talk about, Darren, before we close, is the PS5 itself. We've seen the DualSense before. We've talked about the DualSense.
Yeah.
I still like it. Now the console was actually unveiled. There are two different SKUs that are going to be out at launch. The digital edition that doesn't have a disk drive and the full disk drive edition.
Yeah.
What do you think of the look, Darren?
I don't like it, Matt. I don't like the look at all. I think it looks like a fan render that somebody made. Like, we think this is what the PS5 is going to look like. I think it looks like somebody had an idea of what in the year 2000s what people thought the future was going to look like.
I see.
And designed that as a console. Mm-hmm. I cannot get behind. Also, it's white, so it's going to collect dirt real easy. Dust and dirt.
Yeah, okay.
Well, just like grime.
Yeah,
it will get dirty looking. It might even turn off color because it's not even a glossy finish. It's a matte finish. Mm-hmm. I don't like it, Matt.
I really do like it. I think that this is a really cool departure from what they've done. Some of the people that like online, like there was one of the PlayStation guys that said that apparently how this is constructed will give them massive room for cool limited editions.
Okay.
Apparently he said that like the way that this thing is put together gives them much more room for limited edition consoles.
Yeah.
Compared to what they've done before.
Well, that doesn't really matter to me.
Right.
Because I'm only buying one PS5.
Yeah, but like you said, if you're not going to buy it at launch, maybe
I'll wait for a special edition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like the look. I think it looks really, really cool. From what we've heard, this appears to be the biggest console ever.
Yeah, it's actually like, in terms of like the winners, like the biggest of all the different gens.
Yeah. This is supposed to be
This is the biggest console.
It's supposed to be released. Over 14 inches.
Yeah, it's going to be a wide boy.
It's going to be a big boy. Not a wide boy, a long boy.
A long boy. That's kind of scary. Because I just, like, I can't, I'm looking at this picture right now. And I'm like, I can't see this looking very good in anyone's living room.
I think it looks, I love how, like, weirdly sci-fi it looks.
Yeah, but, like, you better be proud of your PS5, because there's no way someone's going to walk into that room and not notice it.
I'm going to be very proud. I'm actually going to put it in a glass case in the middle of the living room and be like, look at it. You have to.
It's an alien artifact.
I think it looks super cool. I'm glad that they're taking some sort of risk for what they want the look to look like.
Yeah, you know, risks are good, but the thing with risks is they don't always pay off sometimes.
I'm very curious to see how people are going to feel once it's out in the wild. I'm really, really curious to see because I feel like it's either going to be, people are going to be like, nope, still looks like shit, or people are going to really like it once they actually get their hands on it.
Like, I don't, like, the shape of it innately I don't like, but I do think I would be able to, like, appreciate it more if it was black. If it was just all black. I think it would oh man. Also, you can tell that the digital version was designed first, because the digital version's perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah.
Which I like better than this weird bump of a disc drive you get on the side. I kind of wish
the disc drive would be more part of, like, the inner black part.
Yeah, the disc drive looks like an afterthought.
It does.
It doesn't look like it belongs there.
The biggest complaint that I do have about it is the disc drive does not look
like it should be
like
there.
They should have flared the other side with it if that's
balance it.
If that's what they were going to do.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm stoked on it. I think it looks really cool. And I thought that as our first showing with the conference and stuff, I thought it was great.
One thing someone noticed that I think is pretty interesting is now it fits the color scheme of the PSVR.
Yes.
Which I think goes to show how important Sony thinks the PSVR really is. And I know we didn't talk about PSVR because they didn't talk about PSVR.
Right. All they've said is that PSVR will work with the PS5.
Yeah. And PS5 is launching with a camera, not in the box, but you can buy it.
Right.
Which I'm guessing you'll probably need if you want
PSVR
old PSVR to work.
Mm-hmm.
I also think you'll need it if you want PSVR to work at all, because the DualSense controller doesn't have the same light bar that the DualShock has.
I'm sure that they figured that out. Like, you
can probably just get a new camera. Like, if that's what it is, it might just be like, this new camera will track the DualSense, because or maybe the DualShock, or maybe you'll need a DualShock 4 to attach to the PS5 or something like that.
I think that the way that these light bars are like, I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue, but I think that for PSVR, I think your existing camera will still work. I'd be very, very surprised if they made everybody buy a new camera. I think for PSVR 2, you will need the new camera.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of goes without saying.
Well, I'm hoping that with PSVR 2, you don't need the camera at all. I want the cameras to be built into the headset.
Let's hope. Yeah, you know what? Then you might be right.
Because if you need a camera on the outside to track, that's not necessarily a good sign for PSVR in terms of tracking.
Right. That's actually a good point.
So that's what I'm like. That's what also makes me think maybe it has to be for the new. Or maybe for people who don't already have a camera, who are going to get a PSVR 1. Here's a camera here.
Yeah, maybe.
Just like a new version of the camera. Anyways, the point I was trying to make was that I think by matching the color schemes, it does show their intent and their interest in continuing PSVR as a part of the PlayStation ecosystem. I don't think they're dropping it anytime soon.
I hope not. I really do like what they're doing with VR, and with Iron Man just around the corner. I'm excited.
Because now they've unified it.
Yeah. I'm excited, and I hope that PSVR 2, whenever we see it, will be fucking awesome as well. But that brings us to the end, Darren. That was a whole lot of news talk. That was a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
E3, not E3, will probably continue on. We still have more shit coming over the course of the next month. Xbox is supposed to have their massive event in a month, and more PlayStation news will be coming out in August, along with WB, and there's a whole lot more shit coming, so we'll keep you guys updated as we go. But, so Darren, if from last thing, what game stood out to you the most from the PS5 event? What game are you most excited about? Let's ask that.
Demon's Souls. But if it's not going to be Demon's Souls, because I feel like that's unfair.
Right.
Because it's a remake. Probably Horizon 2, to be honest.
Nice.
Because I mean, I loved the first Horizon, and Guerrilla's a great studio, and I'm really excited to see what they do with Horizon 2.
Yeah. For me, easy one is Spider-Man. I'm actually really excited for Deathloop.
Yeah.
I think it looks really cool, and I think it'll be a really cool and interesting multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, Darren, that brings us to the end. Anything left rattle around in that beautiful brain of yours?
No. I am satiated. With news. My thirst for hot takes has been cooled.
Cool as a cucumber. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I apologize again for the kind of random schedule over the course of the last couple of weeks, but we are going to be going back to normal very quickly. We do have some cool guests lined up. I don't want to announce them just yet, but
we got some stuff happening.
We got some stuff in the works. So keep your eyes locked, keep your things peeled. We'll have a new...
Keep your ears open.
Keep your ears open. We're going to have a new Burnout Brighter Games episode coming up next week. And so stay locked. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your
finger on
the Dragon Ball. On the Dragon Ball.
Okay.
On the Dragon Ball.
Yes.
All right. Well, Darren, thank you. This was a good boys show. We didn't even do that this time. It was a boys show.
Boys show.
We miss Destiny. We miss Destiny very much, and she'll be back soon. But this one was for the boys.
For the boys.
Everyone, please continue to stay safe out there. Corona is very much still a problem. Do not be stupid. And thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell all the people, tell the Bug Snacks. It's Bug Snacks. And now everybody's gonna go listen to the song. Darren, say bye.
Bye.
We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
How dare you say fuck you to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney?